Hey everybody, welcome back to Girl Talk. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, before we get started, if you can give me a like, share, thumbs up, comment, all that other good stuff, I would appreciate it. So we're actually going to get into Lindsay Clancy Day 18. And we are going to get into that right now. So the defense witness was Dr. Philip Resnick. He is a forensic psychiatrist. Credentials and background. So his name is Philip Resnick, MD, from Cleveland, Ohio. Education is a BA in psychology, MD in 1963. His training was military hospital internship, psychiatric residency, University Hospitals of Cleveland. Positions, full-time professor. He was the director at Court Psychiatric Clinic for 40 plus years, and he was founder of Forensic Psychiatry Fellowship in 1979. Board certifications: Psychiatry 1971, Forensic Psychiatry 1979, added qualifications 2014 and 2024. Experience: he has over 80 evaluations. He is a consultant / testifying expert in major cases such as Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Kaczynski, Casey Anthony, Andrea Yates, Aurora Theater shooting, and the Oklahoma City bombing. And the reason for the remote testimony was he had recent major surgery and he was hospitalized until last week. So the evaluation of Lindsay Clancy. The interview date was May of 2023 at Duxbury Hospital. He was there for 3 hours with Lindsay and 1 hour and 15 minutes with parents. Physical condition of Lindsay: paralyzed, limited lower body control. The effects: blended and muted. Nursing reports: daily crying over children. And cooperation: she was fully cooperative. The records that were reviewed were police reports, grand jury testimony, the medical records of Tufts, McLean, Women and Infants, and nurse practitioner Gelada. They went over the suicide hotline contacts, the cell phone search history, her journals, and government expert reports. And those were Hillebrand, Mack, and Satoff. The MMPI findings: no evidence of faking symptoms, tendency to minimize, not exaggerate, and the K scale, which is considered the lie scale. I guess that determines if you're lying or not. It was not elevated. Diagnosis: major depression. She has 7 out of 9 DSM symptoms. Bipolar 2. She had mild mania earlier, severe depression at time of offense. The postpartum component: symptoms began within 3 months of Callan's birth. Psychosis present on January 24th. Postpartum psychosis. Command hallucination: reported hearing a voice instructing her. Delusion of influence: that means you feel that your body is controlled externally. Criminal responsibility opinion: he said that severe mental disease was present. Psychosis waxed and waned. Functioning early in the day does not negate psychosis. The judge issues instruction, quote unquote, you are not to consider the defendant's statements to any psychiatrist as establishing the truth of any facts, only as basis for the doctor's opinion. The cross-examination: the defense asked about paranoid belief children would be taken. Resnick said Belief was irrational in her case, though superficially rational, and no further questions. And the defense rested its case. So the defense formally rests its case, and then judge confirms with counsel regarding rebuttal. So the Commonwealth had a rebuttal witness, and that was Dr. Mack, who is a psychiatrist. The credentials. He was psychiatrist for 22 years. Education, he got his BA at Michigan, his MD at Cornell. Residency was Brigham and Women's. Fellowship was Columbia in child psychiatry, NYU in forensic psychiatry. He was a professor at Thomas Jefferson University, and board certifications in psychiatry, child and adolescent psychiatry, and forensic psychiatry. His role in this case: he was retained by the prosecution and conducted an independent evaluation. The records that were reviewed: criminal file, hospital records such as Tewksbury, Spalding, Brigham and Women's, outpatient records, McLean Hospital, pediatric records, and prior expert witnesses. The interview with Lindsay Clancy. The dates were April 10th and 12th of 2026. She was cooperative and friendly, maintained eye contact, no abnormalities in speech, thought process, or affect, tearful at moments. Physical: she was in a wheelchair. She was groomed, her hair was combed. Daily functioning: she was mostly in bed, limited interaction with patients, some therapy. Visitors were family and clergy. Her self-reported mental state: situational depression, miserable, devastated, and not wanting to be alive. The medication review: current meds were Zyprexa 2.5 milligram, trazodone, Wellbutrin, clonidine, and propanol. Past medications were lithium, which was a short trial, Seroquel 25 milligrams, which was a short duration, amitriptyline 10 to 20 milligram, lorazepam, and melatonin. His opinion was that dosages were low and Seroquel effects were only temporary. Psychiatric history: minimal history before 2022, 2 brief prior episodes in nursing school and then postpartum after second child, no family history of bipolar or major depression. And then his diagnosis was major depression episode was the primary diagnosis. Generalized anxiety disorder was a possible secondary. No mania or hypomania, which means no bipolar disorder. Postpartum designation not applicable. Symptoms began 4 months postpartum. DSM requires 4 weeks. Psychosis evaluation: considered alleged psychotic features: feared CPS would take children, fear of medication damage, asking can you hear my thoughts, and concern about ketoacidosis. Conclusion was no fixed false beliefs. Concerns were rational within context. Suicidality and protective factors. Suicidally does not equal psychosis. Protective factors were children and mother. McLean discharged partly based on her stating she would not act due to children. And then they had afternoon recess. When the court came back, Commonwealth resumes direct examination of Dr. Mack. He reports of fun and productive day not inconsistent with suicide attempt. Patrick Clancy reported it was the best day she had in a long time. And then the depression course was major depressive episodes often show partial improvement after several months. Now, on this one, it does say that um, the examination by the defense, I believe that is going to be out later. The defense did rest its case, but they can cross-examination or cross-examine, sorry. They can cross-examine the doctor called by the Commonwealth. And I think that's coming a little bit later. I believe it did happen today. It's just not up in the recap. So that is what happened today from what I understand. I mean, everybody kind of rested. And then next week we will start with closing arguments and things like that. So hopefully next week we will learn something. All right. I hope everybody has a good night. Happy Friday, everyone. I hope everybody has a safe night and a good weekend. And we will talk later in the weekend for our regular pod. Thanks for joining me. Have a great night. Bye.